Hey everyone, this is Heather Williams, and I'm your host of Unleashed Empowerment. I'm back with another episode, and we're going to be talking about doing the work today. Um, for me, I think lately, like we've been having just some stuff going on where it kind of baffles me that a lot of people want to do half-assed work and get paid the full price. Um, it just confuses me. I'm like, if you're being asked of a certain thing and, you need to do like a certain amount of work or whatever it is, and you only bring half of it back to the person that's paying you, like, how do you actually think that they're going to look at that and be like, yeah, it's fine. Here's the full price. Like, I don't understand it. And that's just kind of like in the work wise. Um, it baffles me. I've been really confused, and like it's kind of been a lot in our conversations, um, seeing a lot of people thinking that, being half-assed and being lazy is like the way to go. Um, I know everyone's different and, everyone thinks of things differently, but like, I just don't understand the lazy mentality. Um, if you really want something, you're going to work for it, right? Another thing that, like I've noticed here lately, I've been on like this, really awesome health journey, and I'm super excited about it because I have lost a lot of weight. I feel better. I look better, the whole bit. And, when people ask me what I do, I tell them about like 75 hard. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's 75 days of no alcohol, no cheat meals, which we've decided to do like gluten-free and sugar-free and things like that. Um, work out twice a day. They are 3 hours apart. One has to be outside, like outside, not a carport, outside. You take a progress picture every day, and you read 10 pages of like a self-help book or something like that, nothing that's nonfiction, or that's fiction, cannot be fiction, and it can't be audible either. Like, you have to read it, and it has to be done with intention. So, like, it's hard. That's why it's fucking called 75 hard. Like, it's a lot. And so I tell people that, and they're like, oh, no, I'm not doing all that. I'm like, okay, well, don't, right? And then they're like, well, I'm going to go try to find like this pill I can take that's going to burn all my fat. And I'm like, it's not going to work that way. Like, if you're going to sit there and fill yourself with McDonald's all day long and not even move all day long and then take that supplement, it's not going to work. It doesn't work like that. There's not a magic pill. Um, I don't get the lazy mentality of it. And I'm not bashing anybody. I'm not attacking anyone. I'm just like, I've been hearing it so much, and I hate to see it like in my women's group when there's some people, I don't want to say I see it in my women's group. I have seen it. I'm not seeing it anymore. There's a few people that just want a pity party, and they've done this, but they won't do that. They're doing this, but that's not working. So they're just done with it. And, but they want this outcome. They want this life. They want this dream. And I'm like, man, it doesn't work that way. Like, if you want something, you need to go for it. You need a fire under your ass and work for it. Things are not going to be just handed to you. There's those few people in the world that come from billionaires and all that stuff, and they just get money handed to them, and cars and yachts and mansions and all that fun stuff. But not everybody has that luxury, right? So, like, how do you get to the point you want to be? You work for it. That's what you have to do. The harder you work, the better your outcome is going to be. I used this example on our other podcast, Unchained Empire, where it's me and Zach talking. And I was saying I used to sell cars, and the place that I sold cars for, I felt was very sketchy. I didn't like the way they went about things, and it is what it is. But because of that, it made me not put my all into it. I didn't like lying to people. So like, I wasn't on the floor a lot. I was kind of like, oh, if someone walks by, I'll be like, oh, hey, do you need help? No, cool, bye, and that was it. But my checks showed that. So I'm sitting there all day at this dealership, not doing anything, not making any money, and being absolutely miserable. And I'm like, this isn't going to work, right? Now, I could have just sucked it up and said what I needed to and sold those cars and then had great paychecks. But for me, I just didn't like that. So like, while I had that job, I went and found something else that I enjoyed doing, and then went to that. got that job and put my all into it and was making bank, right? That's how it works. You know, it doesn't have to be in just like your work life either. It could be at home. If you see that, let's say you and your significant other is having issues, let's say you're fighting a lot, and your significant other is like, well, you know, you don't do this and you don't do that. And in your head, you're like, well, I do this and I do that. Okay. Well, someone's in this situation is not giving it their all, right? It could be you, it could be your spouse, but let's just say it's you. If you're not giving it your all, your outcome that you're getting is fighting, then maybe you should look at changing the things that need to be changed to have that better outcome with your spouse, right? This applies to everything in life. It's not just, you know, being lazy in work. It's being lazy all the way around. You know, there's times that like I could be lazy as a mom and just sit on the couch, be like, Lottie, go play this, go, you know, go in your room, go do whatever. But she's not going to learn anything from that. She, you know, yeah, she'll be independent, but like she could look back and be like, man, my mom didn't do anything with me when I was little. And, you know, we never had playtime and this, that, and the other. And that can really affect her. So like in that long run, I'm not putting in any effort or the work for my daughter. And that could really affect her later on. And that's a really shitty outcome. And that's really shitty on my part. So like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be like, oh, you want to play princesses for the fucking 7 millionth time today? Let's go. Let's go in your room and play princesses. You know, the outcome will be better of me being a better mom. The outcome will be better of me working hard for my Unleashed group. You know, if I work hard for my ladies, they're going to get a really great outcome. Just recently I made a post and I was telling everybody like, hey, you know, this is what I'm already working on and this is what's coming. And it's pop-ups where I get to go to different cities and see everybody and talk to them and have like, you know, a brunch with them or whatever. Meetups, which is just everybody in different cities. Like I'm going to have it to where like I'm going to call a restaurant and be like, hey, like I have 20 girls from this group coming in. Like, can I have all this set up for them? Like, I obviously can't be everywhere every time, but you know, can you do this? We're going to have retreats that are coming that are, I told everybody get their passports. Like you got to put in the fucking work for that. That was another thing. I have cruises coming, fundraisers coming, all kinds of stuff. But like, I can't sit there and just be like, yeah, we're going to do all this stuff and half-ass it because then it's just going to be shitty or it's not going to happen. And then I'm disappointing all these ladies that were like, man, I really could have used that cruise. Like, not just for the vacation of it, but to learn what's going on, you know, or how to get over my trauma or whatever, you know, is going to be discussing at those times because they're going to be retreats. Yes, they get to be fun, obviously, but they're retreats. So like I have to put in the work to make sure I can do everything I can for these ladies. Kind of going back to the passport thing, like it just kind of like reminded me and, you know, jogged my brain. So next year, we're not even at June yet, right? Where are we at? I don't even know what we're in right now. April, about to be April. We're not even halfway through the year, okay? And so next year is going to be when I start all my really big things. This year is my focus is on the group, obviously, but also like Zach has a lot going on. This is his 10th anniversary from his motorcycle wreck. He has his book launch, all kinds of stuff. So like the main focus has been helping him out and getting all this done in process. But so next year is going to be like my year. But I have all this stuff that's coming and I was like, hey ladies, you know, y'all are going to have passports for some of these cruises, retreats, and whatever. I don't want to hear next year that you never got your passport because you've had over 6 months or depending on when the, you know, it is next year to get it done. I even went on there and, you know, maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I should have just let them do it themselves. But I like to help my ladies. I went on there and I went on the website to get a passport and I calculated everything and told them how much it would be to get their passport, you know, in the normal time and then the expedited time. If you've never had a passport, if you have had a passport, I did all that to be like, hey, you need to put in the work now to start saving the money for it and getting it done. I don't want to hear when we're like, hey ladies, in 3 months, we're going on this, you know, awesome retreat in, I don't know, let's say Belize, my favorite. Like we're going to go to Belize and someone's like, well, I don't have my passport. You know, I don't know if I'm going to have it in time or I didn't save up any money for that. Well, I told you, should have put in the work. Not being mean, but I can't do the work for you. Um, I feel like sometimes this comes off kind of harsh when I say all this, but it's like, I just really want people to understand, like, that must be nice saying it's not okay. It's not always nice. We work our asses off to get where we're at. And a lot of times, like, people don't see it, but like, there's times of struggle. There's times where we're just like, man, we are working so fucking hard. And this is just kicking us in the ass, you know? But we keep working hard. We don't stop. We don't give up. And then our outcome is like 10 times better than what we were fucking hoping for. And like, that's incredible, you know? Um, we talked about earlier too, you know, a lot of people, I don't mind talking to people and trying to help them figure out things. Like that's me. It's part of me. But one thing, I don't want to say it bothers me by any means, but there's one thing that I notice a lot. And I'm like, if I give you advice and you're like, well, I've already done that. Okay, cool. Well, how about this? Nope, already done that too. God, okay. Well, what about this? No, that doesn't work. Okay. So there, you know, example, let's just say there's 3 things I just gave you and none of that works. Not one of them, not one part of it. Maybe you need to think back and be like, maybe I didn't put my all into that. Maybe I didn't do it correctly. Maybe I should have worked a little bit harder and the outcome would have been different. I love to help people, you know, but also like I can't do the work for you. And it has to be done. We even talked about Google. Like, I'm not trying to be mean half the time, but people will ask me questions and I'm like, man, that is a Google question, right? You know, and Zach will even go so far as he sends like, you know, www.google.com to them. It's not being mean, but it's like, man, like I can't do all this work for you. I'm doing all the work I can for what I have going on. I'm already exhausted, you know, and to add more on, like I can't do it. And so, you know, I really hope that, you know, people in hearing this today, you guys, you know, guys, girls, whatever, hard work is just a part of life. You can go about it lazy. You can go about it and be like, I'm happy being mediocre and content with this. And, you know, I don't need the fancy cars or the vacations or this, that, and the other. And that's fine if that's you. But for the ones that it's not and you're looking for more, you need to understand that you got to work for it. Don't go to someone and be like, yeah, like I have this, you know, X, Y, and Z, and I want to be paid this much because I'm going to produce this for you. And then you don't give them half of that and still be like in your high or on your high horse entitled, I still deserve the pay because I worked for you. Like, no, that's not how things work. I want to see everybody growing and learning and putting in the hard work to get those huge dreams and goals done. You know, another thing that you can do as well is like when you're thinking about this, if like some of this is starting to like kind of hit home for you, take like a step back, look at like the aerial view of your life and look at, okay, well, this is something that I complain about a lot. Let's say it's your job. Okay, I'm complaining about this a lot. This is something that really bothers me and it's in your relationship. Take that step back and go, okay, so what's the root cause of that? Why am I complaining about my job? Is it because I'm not making enough money? Is it because of this? Reverse engineer it and figure out why that's happening. Now figure out how you can change it. In your relationship, if you see that, you know, this isn't working out, okay, take that step back and look at it and be like, okay, this isn't working out. Why? Reverse engineer it. Figure it out and I'm like, okay, now I got to do these steps, X, Y, Z to fix it. Put in that work to fix these situations. This applies to everything in your life. And the harder you work, the better your outcomes are. Is it going to be fucking rainbows and glitter all the time? Absolutely not. But will it eventually be? Yeah. Hundreds of rainbows and all the glitter you can think of. Some people may not like that. I love glitter, so that sounds great to me. But hard work just has to be done. And that's kind of it. You know, I always use the hashtag do fucking better. There's nothing wrong with working hard. There's nothing wrong with giving your all. There's nothing wrong with giving 1,000%. I was talking to Zach's group yesterday, the Uncaged Accountability Group. And, you know, this obviously had to do with relationships. That's like the section they're in right now. And I was telling them, you know, when your spouse looks at you and you're giving your all to your business, 1,000%, and you're always, you know, doing everything you can, not missing meetings, not, you know, always on your phone, not missing a phone call, whatever, they're watching you give that 100% and that all to that, but you're not giving your 100% and all to them. And it kind of makes them feel like shit. And it also makes them not want to give their 100% either. Right? Do you see where I'm going with that? So like if they're giving their 100% to someone else, they're not going to give you 100% either. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to work that way. And that goes back to you think that you're, you know, going to get paid for a full-time job when you only gave half the work. I personally, I have my days where I'm like today, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it was just because we traveled or whatever. Pretty positive there's something in the air here in Louisiana that I'm allergic to, or like, you know, like an allergen, whatever. Because as soon as we got back, I was like, I can't breathe. I am tired. So like today, you know, I would love to be taking a nap right now. But I know that I've made that promise and I've put it out there that every Friday you will get a new episode from me for Unleashed and for Unchained Empire. So as much as I wanted to be like, not today, I'm tired, I'm going to bed, I was like, nope, let me go, like put some makeup on, let me try to look alive and go in there and record. I'm here putting in the work. There's some days you're not going to want to. There's some days you're going to be fucking tired, but you still have to do it, because I know that someone could be listening to this episode and being like, man, that's hitting home. I'm not making what I wanted to at my job, but I'm also preoccupied with a hobby I have or this person or something from home, and I'm not giving it my all, so I'm not making all. And so that's why, like, I'm going to push through and keep my hard work going and do all this. I would love to see, like, something that could be taken out of this is for you to, even if it's, like, I'm a pen and paper gal, so, like, even if you go and you write down, like, what are some of the areas in my life, you know, take that step back and look, what are some areas in my life that I'm complaining about, I'm uncomfortable with, you know, bothersome, fighting, whatever. Take like the negative parts, I guess. Take those and be like, okay, what's the cause of that? Okay. And it could be that you are the cause of them. Maybe it's someone else, but it could be because you weren't doing something. But find out what it is and then like, okay, what can I do better? How can I put in 100%? How can I work harder to make things better? And what you're going to realize is when you start to do that and you start to become better each day, even that 1% better each day, maybe not in all aspects of your life, but in these certain parts, things are going to get better around you. Everything's going to become, I don't want to say easier by any means, everything's just going to become more positive, brighter lights, a light at the end of the tunnel. You're going to start seeing those paychecks coming in that you're like, fuck yeah, I can go take this trip, or I can go buy this, or whatever it is. You may have a list of like, you know, your dreams and your goals and everything. And like your dreams are like a certain car and a certain house, whatever. Like you have to make a certain amount of money for that. That shit don't grow on trees, because if it did, I'd have thousands, millions, whatever. But it don't work that way. We got to work to make money to get these things. And write those down. Like write your dreams and goals down. Like even if you want to go as far as into researching, using that google.com and research how much those cost. Be like, man, I got to make this much. I got to save this much. Like do that little bit. That's a little bit of work. Do that little bit. Just start having those dreams and goals. So you know when you're looking at that and like your next paycheck comes in, you're like, okay, I can take this much and save it and put away in my savings for my dream car. Like that's work. That's you actually being mindful and doing a little bit of work and doing that to make your dreams and goals come true. And the more you do that, the more you see that money building up that you're saving for those things, it's going to make you motivated. It's going to make you like happy and excited. And you're like, each time you get closer, you're like, fuck yeah, I'm getting a little bit closer. You know, I can buy it and eventually and da-da-da. It helps you become just a better person. It helps you become, lighter, more positive, and like it helps in all aspects of your life. Um, it kind of made me giggle when I was saying that earlier. So what we've taught Lottie, because a lot of time Lottie loves to be around us, and we're 100%, that family that's like, we're going to take our kid with us. Like if she can't come, then we're not going to come unless obviously it's work and we have to do it. But we've had to teach Lottie, why do we go to work? And she'll go to make money. And I said, well, why do we need to make money? And she'll go to Disney. That's her thing. It's mine thing too, but that's her thing. And that's how we're able to like explain that to her. And I kind of love that because it's like we have to work hard and make that money to go make that little girl happy. Not that we have to make her happy. That's our daughter, but we want to make her happy. We want to bring her to Disney World because that child lights the fuck up when she sees Disney. As soon as she sees those signs and she knows she's there, I mean, that is it. She is on cloud nine the rest of the time. I'm okay with working my ass off to see that. I am totally okay with working hard to make that little girl happy. I'm 100% okay to work hard just to see Zach smile and make him happy. I thought of this idea of something that I want to do for Zach. Obviously, I'm not going to say it because I know his ass and I know he'll listen to this to see what I'm trying to do. But I have this special plan that I want to do, and it's a little on the selfish side, like not going to lie, but it gets for both of us, and I know he's really going to enjoy it once like it all comes together. But I know that I have to work harder. I have to get things going to make all of it happen. So it's either I can be lazy and not work hard and not do it, and we just don't go, and then I can never know if he'd actually, or see his reaction, or I can work my ass off and work really hard and make these certain things happen that's going to get us there, and then we get to fucking do it. Like, to me, that's huge to me. Like, that's because then also I get to sit there and go, man, I worked my ass off and I got us here. Like, that's a fucking accomplishment, right? Like, I didn't need to go to him and be like, hey, can I have this much money to do this, this, and this? I can't tell you what it is. No, like, I can be like, hey, I did all this, I planned all this, like, let's go. And I think that's just like a really good feeling. Some people, do have to ask for money. And, if that's how your relationship is and that's how it works, hey, that's fine. That's totally fine. But then you need to be still putting in the work at home or whatever that, your case may be. Make things easier, make things better. Like, you put in hard work and you make everything around you easier. You make everything easier for everybody that's in, like, your close vicinity. Like, you'll start to see people's moods change, your mood changes, things just get better. Like, it's a wild cycle. And I know a lot of people don't want to do it, but it's such a good outcome. It's such a good thing to do. You don't want people to look at you and be like, yeah, I asked this person to do this and they did a half-assed job and they're not good at what they do. Like, you don't want all that. Like, you want people to know that you are a hard worker and you do a good job and you're a badass, And so I hope that, out of this, that I don't sound mean by any means. I don't want to piss anybody. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I don't want anyone to be like, she's kind of a bitch. Like, I'm telling you, do fucking better. That's my hashtag. I use it a lot. Do fucking better. Because when you do fucking better, your whole life gets better. When you do better at your job, your money gets way, way bigger. When you do fucking better at your relationship, y'all both get happier. Like Zach said earlier, you might get a little bit more head, whatever. Things can really open up when you put in the fucking work. And I don't mean that sexually. I mean, like, for real. Put in the work. See what happens. See that great outcome that you were actually wanting and hoping for. And you put in that work. It's going to make you feel so fucking awesome. And then you're going to keep that momentum going. And you're just going to keep fucking going and rocking at life. And you're not going to ever have to worry about troubles again. There's going to be, let me take that back. There'll be hard days, but y'all know what I mean. Like, you're going to be working so hard, like you're going to be doing so great. And you're going to be like, when something does, like, give you a bad day, you're going to be like, it's fine. I got it. We're good. I'm still working hard because I'm still going to be a badass. I'm still having all this coming in. So I hope you guys got something out of that. Man, I feel like the past like couple weeks that we've been doing this, like every single one, I've been like, I'm really off. And I swear to God, y'all, we had this like crazy like pollen storm or something. I don't know. But ever since that happened and since everything turned yellow, like my brain's gone. My brain was like, nope, you are going to be stuffy from now on. You're going to cough from now on and you're going to sneeze from now on and everything else. So, but I hope you guys got something out of that. Again, do fucking better, man. Do the work. Like, if you're going to put in half-ass work, you're going to get a half-ass outcome. And no one wants that. Like, just do the work, do better, and just watch how your life can blossom just by doing that and staying in that great mentality. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Super excited to come back to you guys next week and talk about some more fun stuff. And I'm so thankful that you guys are still here with me. I can't wait to keep doing this with y'all. Thank you guys. I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend.